10 clear signs a child may be experiencing neglect. Every child deserves protection, love, and attention. These are not luxuries, they are basic, emotional needs that shape a child's brain, personality, confidence, and future. But in many homes, something heartbreaking happens quietly. A child grows up with food on the table but no emotional warmth, clothes on their body but no comfort, a roof above them but no care beneath it. This is neglect, one of the most damaging and silent forms of harm a child can face. Neglect does not always look dramatic. It can be hidden behind a smile, behind good school grades, or behind a child who says I am fine because they have learned not to expect anything from the world. When a child is neglected, their mind adapts in painful ways. Their emotional system changes, their behavior changes, and their ability to trust changes. Today you will learn the 10 most important signs that show a child may be experiencing neglect. These signs are well known in psychology and pediatric mental health. Understanding them does not only allow you to help children, it also helps adults understand their own childhood wounds. Many grown people today still carry the marks of neglect without realizing it. Let us begin. Body. The child acts too independent for their age. Independence is good, but when a child becomes extremely independent and refuses help with things they should not handle alone, it is often a survival mechanism. A neglected child learns early that no one will show up for them, so they stop asking. They dress themselves early, handle problems alone, do not cry, and act older than their age. This looks strong from outside, but inside it is a sign that the child has been forced to raise themselves emotionally. They show delayed emotional development. Neglect affects the emotional brain. When a child does not receive attention, warmth, or guidance, they struggle to understand their own feelings. They may become easily overwhelmed, unable to express emotions, or unable to calm themselves. Some children appear blank or disconnected. Others react with sudden anger. Constant care, and without it, the child grows, but their emotional skills do not. They have constant attention-seeking behavior. Many neglected children become desperate for approval and affection. They constantly try to impress adults, overperform, cling, or behave dramatically because they are trying to fill an emotional gap. They are not trying to annoy anyone. They are trying to be seen. Every child wants attention, but when the need becomes extreme and continuous, it often comes from a lack of consistent emotional presence at home, poor hygiene, or lack of basic care. This is one of the most visible signs. The child may wear dirty clothes, have unwashed hair, untreated medical issues, or no proper meals. Neglect is often more emotional than physical, but physical neglect appears when the caregivers are absent, careless, or overwhelmed. A child cannot manage their hygiene properly without adult support. If this support is missing, it shows in their physical condition. They have difficulty trusting people. Trust is built through constant care. When a child learns that the adults in their life do not respond to their needs, they stop trusting. They become cautious, anxious, or distant with others. Even when someone tries to help, they may resist or doubt the intention behind it. Trust issues in children are not attitude problems. They are emotional wounds caused by inconsistent caregiving. They freeze or stay silent during stress. A healthy child shows their emotions openly. They cry when they are hurt, complain when something feels wrong, and naturally seek comfort from adults. But a neglected child often behaves in the opposite way. Instead of expressing distress, they freeze, they go silent, they shrink into themselves. They stop asking for help even when they desperately need it. This response develops from a painful internal belief: my needs don't matter. When a child repeatedly experiences being ignored, dismissed, or punished for expressing emotions, their brain learns that speaking up brings no safety. Over time, silence becomes a survival strategy. Psychologists consider this one of the clearest markers of emotional neglect. The child has learned that showing feelings changes nothing, so their instinct becomes shutting down rather than reaching out. They suppress tears, hide fears, and avoid drawing attention to themselves because it once protected them. As adults, this pattern often appears as people who stay quiet under pressure, avoid conflict, or freeze in stressful moments. They struggle to ask for support because their childhood taught them not to expect it. The good news is that this response can be unlearned. With consistent emotional safety, patient relationships, and environments where their voice is welcomed, individuals slowly relearn that their needs deserve to be heard. Difficulty forming friendships. A child raised without warmth and support may struggle socially. They may have trouble sharing, cooperating, or understanding social cues. Some appear aggressive, others appear withdrawn. Healthy social skills come from the emotional lessons given by caregivers. Without these lessons, the child may find friendships confusing or overwhelming. They may feel unworthy of connection or fear rejection. Poor school performance or zero interest in learning. Neglect affects concentration, memory, and motivation. A child worried about safety or emotional needs cannot focus on studies. They might appear lazy, but psychology shows they are distracted by unmet emotional needs. In many cases, the child does not believe they are capable of success because no one encourages them. Teachers often notice this problem before anyone else. Low self-esteem and self-blame. Neglected children commonly believe there is something wrong with them. They think they are not good enough, not important, or not lovable. When a child's emotional needs are ignored, they assume the fault belongs to them. This becomes long-term self-criticism. Even praise feels uncomfortable. They may reject compliments because deep inside they believe they do not deserve positive words. They become extremely sensitive or emotionally numb. Neglect often pushes children into emotional extremes. Some grow overly sensitive, reacting strongly to small comments, mistakes, or changes in their environment. Their emotional world becomes fragile because they never learned how to manage feelings in a safe and supported space. On the other side, many neglected children shut down completely. They appear cold, quiet, or distant because being numb feels safer than being hurt. These opposite reactions have the same root. When a child grows without emotional guidance, they do not develop healthy coping skills. They are left alone with big feelings they cannot understand. Without reassurance, comfort, or emotional modeling, their brain chooses one of two survival paths. Either they overfeel everything or they disconnect to protect themselves. This pattern often continues into adulthood. Sensitive children may become anxious adults who worry about rejection. Emotionally numb children may grow into adults who struggle to express love, trust others, or share their true feelings. Both forms are not personality flaws, they are self-protection responses created in a childhood where the emotional environment was unsafe or empty. With proper support, therapy, and consistent healthy relationships, these emotional extremes can slowly soften. Human emotions heal when they finally receive the care they were missing. Childhood neglect is silent, invisible, and often misunderstood. It does not always come from cruel parents. Sometimes it comes from stressed families, overwhelmed caregivers, or environments where emotional needs are not understood. But no matter the reason, the effect on the child is deep and long-lasting. Recognizing these signs early can save a child from years of emotional struggle. Every child deserves attention, affection, guidance, and safety. These are basic needs that shape the entire course of life. If you see these signs in a child, understand them with kindness. They are not behaving this way because they want to. They are reacting to a world that failed to meet their needs. And if you see these signs in yourself, remember that healing is always possible. Awareness is the first step. Change starts with understanding your story. If you found this information helpful, consider learning more about child psychology and emotional health to support the children around you.